family. I miss you. I wish I was there to do this for you in person. So I just threw some stuff together from the garden, so this isn't very pretty. Yours are going to be taped and everything a little bit better, but I just trimmed the stems. So they're about, I don't know, below the tape, maybe about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch tops. I can't remember where the tape ends. I just kind of want to clean up the stems, so make sure that they're stripped and just sort of bare. Obviously, this is a cruddy one that I just threw together, but you can tell where the front of your boot is and where the back is. So what I'm going to do is take the black ribbon. Usually the thicker black ribbon is easier, but I was out. I'm sorry. So I'm going to leave a bit of length of the ribbon out and just kind of put it over the top, and then take the rest and hold it there with my one hand while I take the rest and just wrap it tightly around the tape. And I'm just moving this up and holding it tightly there, and I continue to wrap the ribbon, just overlapping it on itself all the way down until the tape is fully covered. So I just don't want it. The idea is just to make it look a little bit more elegant and not have any tape showing. Sometimes you have to work with it a little bit, especially with this thinner stuff that's not as good. And eventually I'm gonna get to a point where I'm here. I'm just gonna wrap that one side around, wrap this side around so they meet in the front. You can see that. And now I'm just gonna tie a little knot. So you can do it however you want. You can tie it in the back so the knot doesn't show. Sometimes I like the knot. I like a little bit of ribbon at the front. So I'll show you. Hang on, let me just knot it and then I'll show you. So right now this poor little flower. I didn't choose the best flower for this, but I'm just here. And I'm just gonna take my fabric scissors or whatever sharp scissors you have and just sort of cut on an angle here. And then the same thing here. And it's just like a little tie. So then, this poor boot. Your boutonnieres will be easier because this one's just messed up. So you just go underneath the lapel of the jacket with the black pin. So if I had a lapel on, it would go underneath, and then you come up, pin it through, and then pin it back down. So the pin will actually be, if I had a lapel, it would be underneath and you wouldn't see it. I hope that makes sense. So that one's pretty easy. Next thing I'm gonna do is the bouquet. So, I've got my bouquet. I think I stripped Molly's and Gabby's bouquets of, like, when I say strip, I mean the bottom stems so that there's no leaves. It's just so they look clean. But I did leave the stems long. So I like personally a little bit shorter stem. So, because I want, really the top of a bouquet is really the front. I mean, you're supposed to sort of hold it at your navel, or be like at your, do this way, between your navel and your pelvis, and tip it a little bit forward. So if you have really long stems, you can't really do that. So you end up holding it like this, and that's not as pretty. Bouquet's a lot prettier when you hold it forward, like this, just a little bit. So in order to do that, you have to cut the stems a little shorter. So I like to cut them so that they're all even, maybe right here. So what I'll do is I'll just start cutting the stems on one side, making sure they're even, and then I'll do little turns so the sides are all the same length, so that it's even all the way around. If that makes, oops, sorry, I'm not in the video. And turn again so I can see the sides. And these aren't the best snips. Even scissors will work for this. So now I have a much shorter bottom stem. They're all even and flat. So now I can hold it. The bride, Molly, can hold it. Sorry, I haven't showered today either. Can hold it down here, and the top of the bouquet can be a lot prettier than the bottom. Also, don't be afraid, especially since they shipped, to loosen them a little bit. I noticed on the FaceTiming this morning that Molly's and Gabby's were both a little tight. So just kind of take your hands in here and your thumbs in the front and just gently pull them apart just a little bit and shake it. You don't obviously want to break anything, but you just want to loosen it up gently so that there's some space, especially as those roses start to open, because everything was really tight. So now this is a little bit looser. Things probably moved. Sometimes I have to pull some things down over here, or sometimes tuck some things up. And if you need to take something out, like I remember there's a little droopy thing in the back, just whatever is droopy, back of I think Gabby's, just go back here, find the stem, cut it out. If you need to put something else in there, you can, or if you want to leave it blank and just adjust the flowers around, you can do that too. And then there's a very obvious front and back to this bouquet, but I think you can tell with Molly and Gabby's I think I marked Gabby's but not Molly's, but I think with Molly's you can tell it's pretty obvious. So what you're gonna do with Molly's is take some ribbon. I sent you that, sorry, I'm just looking for a piece here. I sent you that silk ribbon. It's about this width, I think, as I remember. And you won't need all of it unless she wants it cascading, but I don't think that's a more formal look. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take, you can take the big pin, or it's actually easier to work with these little ones initially. And I'm gonna go to the back, and sometimes I worry about silk if it's too thin. Maybe fold it in half a little bit and put it right here. And I'm just trying to make it look finished and hide the tape again. So I'm gonna pin the back. I like to go upward into the stems, and it'll just hold it in place. And then I'm gonna take the silk and just, sorry, get it off the spool. Okay, you won't need this length, and you probably have a lot. So I sent you that ribbon for both. But what you're gonna do Molly's first and then do Gabby's, I guess. And then take the silk and wrap it tightly. So I just kind of go around, pull, and then pull it pretty tightly. See, I can see the tape again, so I'm gonna go around. I don't wanna see any tape. So I'm just going up and I'm gonna pull. It's okay if it folds over on itself, it'll just look really pretty. But I do want it wider, so if it does start to fold up, and it probably will, just adjust as you go, and just keep pulling it tightly. Until you have what you think is enough. So that the tape's covered, the stems are covered. I leave the bottoms open so that you can put them in water still. And then I fold, I'm not gonna cut this so I can use it again, but then I fold the ends in again, and then take the white pins. So it's harder because I didn't snip it, but in the back, keep it held tightly. You're a queen at this, Peg. And take these big ones. So just be careful you don't stick yourself because it's a long pin. And I'm gonna start at the top. I'm gonna kind of push upward. And then I'm gonna go all the way down. Usually for about Molly's size bouquet, it would take about 3 pins to get it pretty secure. Or I think I might have put some smaller white ones, those might be easier. Just make sure you go straight up so you don't poke out through and nick yourself, it's the worst. So obviously you wouldn't have this extra. And then what you can do is take I really love the tulle part of the sleeve, and just maybe cut a couple of strips and tie them around, and then finish it off by pinning in your wedding dress pieces. Those are so beautiful. And then it'll be ready to go. And you can keep it in water. I try not to get the silk wet, but it's hard not to do it. That's why I usually do it in the morning. So I just fill up a small vase until the ends are just in the water, and leave it in there until it's go time. And then it should be fine until you guys get back. And then you can put it in a little vase and take care of it after that with, or use it for decor. So anyway, call me if you need help. It's really not hard. Sometimes it helps to visualize it a little bit, and it just finishes it off. And I can't wait to see pictures. I love you guys. I miss you. See you soon. Call me if you need anything.